Hi, my name is Knostenbergs. I'm co-founder at Master Packager, and for 10 years I have been focusing on making application packaging software so that application management is getting easier and as well more affordable. And I have been fortunate enough to be a packager myself, packaging thousands of applications for more than hundreds of customers. And I know what high-quality packages look like. From that experience, we built Master Packager software, and that helped a lot to us. But now we would like to build the best packaging software not only for ourselves, but for others. So how to do that? Talking to application packagers and seeing how they are packaging in different parts of the world, what are their struggles, what are their workflows, and what we can learn from that to improve in our software. And this is what I want to talk about today. These are 7 key learnings I have noted myself when talking to a lot of organizations, packagers, and their managers. So let's start with the first. In 2012, I found myself in a room that is white walls, a large window in the side, and big white table in the middle. And I look at 2 technical project managers in the other side of the table. And they are asking me different questions to figuring out if I'm good fit for their application packaging team. 2 questions changed my life forever. The first one was, Tuomas, do you know what Regedit is? And I have no clue what it is in 2012. I don't know what application packaging is. All I know is that I need a job, and looks like this could be it. So to get the job, I thought that, I will just tell them I know what it is, and I will figure it out when I got home, or when I get the job, I will learn it, definitely. So I said, yeah, I have heard of it. And then they asked me more. Can you explain what it is? And I said, I forgot about this. Like, if I would see that software, I would figure it out. And then they turn around their laptops with Regedit open. And yes, indeed, I see that program first time in my life. And I said, this is a different program, what I thought about. And the second question was, we read your CV, Tuomas, and we can see that you said that you are expert level in Microsoft Office. And I say, yeah, who isn't? And they say, can you name one advanced Excel function? And in that moment, I knew that some function in Excel is not advanced. And I have to stop selling I know things I don't know, really. And in that moment, I thought that I will not get that job. Luckily, I got it, maybe because they liked my answers on different questions more than these 2. But nevertheless, I learned one important lesson from these 2 questions. I always try to focus on truth, even if that could upset Microsoft. And speaking about upsetting Microsoft, let's talk about MSIX. So we are figuring out if we want to build functionality in our software to help customers with MSIX challenges. And I have read almost everything about MSIX. I have been talking with customers who have tried MSIX. And our conclusion is that MSIX is not ready for us right now. And the main reason is that we haven't seen a successful company repackaging to it until this day. And I don't know, will it change, but currently we see that even customers who are interested in my Master Packager software, they even don't ask about MSIX. I'm the one who's saying, okay, you like MSI stuff, what about MSIX? Maybe we should build something for you. And most of them say, no, we are not interested. And then there are some that says, yeah, we tried it, but we see it's not ready for them as well right now. And we have customers who are service provider, packaging service provider for hundreds of their customers. And we talk of them. So we see many organizations, and we thought that maybe our service providers who use Master Packager would ask for us. But the reality is that they had some customers who tried it and asked it, and then they tried other tools available, and we provide them. We know all the tools around here who provide MSIX tooling, and we point to them, hey, we don't provide such services, so here are this and this and this, go there and try it. And when we check in after a few months, the results are the same. Yeah, it's not ready, we are sticking with MSI. But what's the problem? What's the main issue? Why is happening like that? We think it's because of the testing. And I will give you one specific example. This is Master Packager software when you want to create something with MSIs or MST files. And we are vendors of it, developers. So we tried to repackage it to MSIX some while ago. And it launches, no errors, right? And we click around it, no errors. All good, until you get to the templates function. Great functions, by the way, if you want to store your favorite properties or custom actions and apply with one click. And you can share with all your packaging team. Excellent. But it doesn't work in MSIX. If you use PowerShell functionality as external process, it's trying to see in MSIX packages, and it cannot find the files, and you get an error. How could you know that? We as developers could know that. We have access to the source code. We don't know. Why? To know that, we need to know all the MSIX limitations. We're currently not aware of all of them. And then you have to have a way how to automatically detect this. And we could try to do that with the source code, but not if we would package this. Only way how to find that you have such issue is opening every application and clicking through all the functions. And that takes time. So I believe that MSIX should come from the vendors. And here's one example. This is Notion Advanced Notes application. I use it every day on my computer. And almost every day I see this ugly pop-up. And I hate it. Like I have to click something and then something's flickering and closing and opening. In MSIX it would be so much better. And as well, this application is installing everything, their binaries into AppData. So for organizations, it would be much better as well. Why are they not using MSIX? I don't know. Does it mean that Master Packager software is not future ready? First of all, I'm not from the future. And I don't know how the future will look like. But I'm trying to reduce the risk as much as possible and showing others that there is risk, because I have seen how customers are trying to do everything in MSIX without knowing such things if they listen to Microsoft only. So they don't know it, and they tried it, and they failed, and a lot of time is wasted. This is why I'm trying to talk about this. And it's not like we haven't invested in MSIX. We have a repackager that can produce MSIX packages. We have software called Master Packager Dev that is focused on developers. And it can build MSI and MSIX packages from one single project file. It will apply Microsoft-approved fix-ups. It will warn developers if we find that in binaries there is a driver or Microsoft Excel. So we will help them go to that MSIX. But yeah, it needs more investment from Microsoft side for us to invest more. They need developers need to see more value in this technology, so they want to get rid of their existing scripts and see if the MSIX is okay. Another thing is that if we will, what customers usually are asking is to have some functionality to edit repackaged MSIX package, to detect the limitations and apply these fix-ups. We can build that, but it will do two things, what I currently see. First of all, it will show the customer that MSIX is not ready for them just sooner than without these great tools. And second thing, it will make our software more expensive, as we would build tools that only few would use it, and most of them will abandon. So we have a software with the features that no one really uses, and we need to continue to maintain them. As well, we would get more questions like saying, hey, why didn't fix this? Your software is broken. No, Microsoft is not doing their part, and we can't really do anything about that. So it would be completely against our mission, make application management easier and more affordable, complicated and expensive. Speaking about expensive software, by far my first day as an application packager in 2012, I went to my desk and I found myself reading a lot of documentation, video trainings. We had internal trainings how to work with this expensive, complicated, and same time wonderful software, how to package applications. And we had a lot of customers and a lot of packages that were really complicated that we needed to deliver in short time. We really needed such software, and it worked great. If after 2 weeks, 3 weeks, month, when you get to understand it, you start to actually delivering these packages. And something, again, 3 months later happened. It got too expensive for us. So we were left, instead of one software, we used 9 tools, 9. Some more, less affordable, some with less pricing, some were free, some were internal developed, and some were Microsoft Excel. Yes, Microsoft Excel. We got so large applications that none of these tools could open the MSIs with these tables. Even Orca couldn't let us edit anything. So we exported these tables out of these MSIs, put them into Excel, did all the modifications, exported back to the Orca, imported, saved, and then see if everything works. And you know, again, 2 things happened. First, we learned that these expensive and complicated softwares that works like a magic really isn't magic, it's logic. And we learned that by doing basic work with these other tools. We learned how the applications work, how Windows operating system works. So it gave us a knowledge how to build a software. Second thing, we understood if for us it's getting too expensive, it means that for others it could be also expensive. So we built a master packager and made it specially as affordable as possible. And we actually doing this by making fewer features that actually solves problems, not by adding every feature everyone asks. As we know the experience from ourselves, what works and what doesn't. And here's a great example. If you have ever repackaged something, you would maybe see a screen like this that prepares you for a big mysterious repackaging. And I have looked on this picture and that top text for many times preparing for this presentation, and I still don't know what is written there because I'm refusing to read such large text on software. I know what is the next text, like you have to reboot the computer and then disable the services. Why all this information? Why is needed? As for us, nothing there. Just open on clean virtual machine and start repackaging. We do all these things behind the scenes with a simple one thing, exclusion list. It makes sure that you don't get the noise that here someone is trying to tell you to disable so you don't get that noise. And with such a thinking, we go through every feature we try and develop, seeing how to make, instead of bunch of text, bunch of buttons, but automated and easy accessible for the packager. Again, why I'm telling this? Just 3 months ago, I had a demo with a large enterprise, around 10 packagers in the demo. In the middle of the demo, one of the packagers couldn't wait any longer, and he asked me, Tuomas, how is this possible that this software can do all these things, but costs only fraction of our existing solution? Yeah, it's because we do things like that. Another thing, how to get price down or cost down and make packaging less expensive, could be use community managed installers like from Winget. One of the conversations with packager who leads 6 more packagers said that he is tired of packaging the same application every week, every month. And he said, I have a great idea. I will use Winget to write some scripts to make take the latest version from Winget and push directly into the Intune. And my first thought was, I wouldn't do that. I never had thought about doing that because I wouldn't trust it. So I said, like, be careful. But why exactly we should be careful? I tried to ask this question to our social network, asking who would trust Winget to get directly to have applications directly imported in Intune, like deployment system like Intune, and then production. And most answers were like me, that wouldn't trust in them. But some said, I fully trust them, I would install it. And some would say, hey, I will just check the content before I trusting them. What could be the properties that say something about the application catalog? Can we trust them? First of all, how many they are? Is it even worth spending time automating if there are only few of them? In Winget, there are 5,435 unique applications. This is data around 2 weeks ago. 50 of them are in MSIX format. Actually, 25 in MSIX, and the rest of them are AppManagEvent and MSIX bundles. Almost 800 are in zip files. I personally do not consider zip files packaged if you know how they are getting installed. And then there are MSIs and exe. So what else would tell us that we can trust package catalog? If there is a virus in it, right? So we downloaded all these unique applications and run through VirusTotal. And as you can see here, 1,425 positive detections. Most of them were with only one detection. So it could be false positive, right? But there are many with more than one, even more than 7. What else? Is the installer digitally signed? And I don't think that anyone should complain about signatures nowadays. Microsoft Trusted Signing now just announced this is a fairly affordable solution, 10 euros per month, as I remember, and only 2,276 are signed in Winget. Only half, less than half. 141 is available for HTTP protocol that is considered unsafe. From Winget validation rules, it shouldn't be there, but you can still install and download them from Winget if you want to. I don't know why they are still there. Maybe that rule was introduced later, but I still would consider removing them. And again, almost half of them source come from GitHub. When I worked as an application packager, I do not remember if anyone would request us to package something that came from GitHub. So, but yeah, I don't know how many GitHub sourced applications enterprise currently using. I don't think it's so much. So it could, community managed installers like Winget, I'm currently speaking only about Winget, could save you time to get the newest versions, but if you use it, please validate the source. Again, that leads to think how many packages are there and how many these catalogs could actually consume and pre-package. I found this article from 2018 from Microsoft. They're saying that in 2018 there are 35 million application titles available on Windows 10. A lot. I don't know where they got that number, how accurate it is, but even if it's in 1 million applications out there and there are so many different companies, I don't think that these package managers could handle like nearly 100% you would need. In 2014, I already have 2 years experience as an application packager. I'm using VMware Workstation as my virtual machine driver, and packaging with many virtual machines opened, so my packaging is really efficient. And I'm getting this very, very hard package to figuring out how to get it installed silently. It took me almost half a day to figuring out, and as I'm finishing up, something terrible happened. My VMware just broke down. Process stopped, and I lost all my work. Why? Turns out, internal deployment specialist got new VMware version, and without packaging, just silent switches pushed to my computer and other packagers. And as a new installer was trying to install and detected old version process running, it just killed the existing processes, and I lost my work. And we knew that this could happen, and it is not really good application management, right? We do application management to help business do more efficient work to help them earn more money. But now I'm, as an end user, lost my half a day work. We knew that, and this is why as a packagers, we always packaged every application into PSAPDeployToolkit. Every package. But when I talk with application packagers, most of them says that they use PSAPDeployToolkit, but they use only for special cases. Why we use master PSAPDeployToolkit? Because it have this window to show end users that, hey, we detected conflicting processes, please save your work, and so the new installation can start running. Second is that you get flexibility from PowerShell. You can create your own functionality functions, but PSAPDeployToolkit has their own sets of pre-functions created. And it's standardized, and in long term, it pays off. You know where the log files are. Your team knows where the log files are. All your team knows where the installation, how the installation is done by the PSAPDeployToolkit. It's easier to onboard new members. So it's great. And I want to show you how we see we can improve this. So first of all, this is demo where we try to package one application. And in background, you see a tool we have created that is called Master Packager Toolbox. What it does, it has different utilities, and one of the utilities called installed apps. It sees all the installers on your virtual machine. So let's see how the application installs, and we can see already there are many MSIs that are extracting. And the toolbox is needed for us to understand what exactly we will need to package. And see in the green, while the toolbox was opened, and when you finish the installation, you refresh it and you see all the green lines. These are all the new installations that happen with that one exe. So you run the exe, but actually there are MSIs in it. There are all the necessary information for you. You can find the MSI source that will help you a lot when you packaging exes and you want to see if there is MSI inside it. And now, with right click, you can open that main exe with Master Packager, Master Wrapper. And Master Wrapper is a UI for PSAppDeployToolkit. As we understood that just by using Notepad or any other script editor would just take too much time for us to package every application in PSAppDeployToolkit. And you can create your own templates, as you can see here. You can see your own configuration that you have maybe in your existing template, and you can put this template here as well. Then everything starts with a general page. You have all the metadata, icon, description. All that will be used later on when you upload to the Intune. The deployment information, detection key. Then this is next section, main actions. Again, automatically we set the installation command line for exe. And for this application, it's two things that we need to configure. First, there's a firewall that we need to set up. And as you can see here, we added a firewall script that will add a firewall and as well remove it. Then there is a desktop shortcut, and we want to remove it as well. And it uses IntelliSense and our snippets. Later on, you will see how the snippets works. If you have used Visual Studio Code, then you know snippets really well. Next, processes to be closed. Here we used exe to install multiple MSIs. We used this different approach. We could use as well all the MSIs and drag them in, and it would be maybe easier, but we just switch things here a bit to show you the functionality. And here we have to enter the processes we want to close. If you would use the MSIs in the background, again, without knowing you, we open the MSIs, find all the shortcuts, find the targets, these shortcuts pointing to you, and placing them inside that text box. Next, there is an upgrade function where you can, with one, again, few clicks and user interface, add the upgrade for previous MSIs with using product code or product name or exe. Again, you don't need to read PSAppDeployToolkit documentation anymore, and it sometimes gets really complicated if you want to uninstall MSIs just by name. In Script Editor, you can see all these changes we made previously. And you can actually use Toolbox to select uninstall command line, as we are doing here, and you can paste it here, replace it, use all the necessary scripting editing functionality you would find on Visual Studio Code. We actually built this because our customers said that they finish with Master Wrapper, and then they open Visual Studio Code to do some extra functionality on top of that. And we thought, like, why you would need extra software? So we build features like this here. So yeah, here is how IntelliSense work, and here is the Script Explorer. So Script Explorer saves, let you save snippets of code here in the toolbox, and you can share these snippets with all your team. So when one where is it? Yeah, so when one packager creates one snippet, like for example, adding firewall rule, all the rest of the team can see it and adjust by clicking a few keyboard keys and apply it. Yeah, and then you just save the package and it's done. Now, Intune. Again, talking with application packagers, almost most of them use Intune or are going to the Intune. Not everyone, of course, but most of them. Also, when talking with you guys here, I hear that everyone is using Intune here. And it's slow, but where it is slow? So it is slow to adding package to the Intune using the user experience UI elements. You have to do so many clicks to add one package. It takes time. And as well, uploading. It takes time. It limits the upload speed there. When you want to test the package, again, it takes time when it's becomes available on your target machine. One of the suggestions we have is that, again, many packagers didn't know about is PSAppDeployToolkit. From sysinternal, it can execute your ready package as system account, and if under system account everything is working, it means that under Intune it will most likely work. At least will reduce majority of the risks from the table that something will not work when it's published to Intune. And again, it saves time finding the issue on virtual machine. And separating packaging tasks from deployment tasks. If you use master wrapper, you saw that it's use icon, description, something that really in PSAppDeployToolkit it's not a must-have. But we found out that PSAppDeployToolkit could be as a one place to have all the packaged detail information, and it can just be used when deploying to Intune, like in this example. Right-click and convert to Intune Win. Then we open again Toolbox and we have a utility called Intune. Add package, that Intune file from PSAppDeployToolkit created. Now you can overview everything you will push to the Intune. We just don't want that you push immediately by looking on one file. We want that you see and review before you making that decision. You can add nodes that some of the packagers, it will actually come in next version, by the way, but yeah, you will be able to add nodes. Some packagers ask this, and upload to Intune. We are not limiting upload speed, so you can use all your internet speed. And now open in Intune, and you will see all the necessary information there. And again, you don't need to worry about what is the correct logo when uploading to Intune. All these are packaging steps that, again, in long term can save you time. Again, it was 4 months ago. I'm reading a good night bed story to my daughter. She is 7, and her name is Gabrielle. And when I'm reading the story about princesses and towers and castles, she stopped me at one point and said, "Daddy, you said word noble. What does it mean?" And I'm like, how to explain it? And I said, it's like a highborn. And she, "Daddy, what does highborn means?" I'm like, how can I get out of this situation and look smart? I don't know how to explain my daughter what these words mean. I cannot ask mommy. I have an idea. I take my phone and open ChatGPT voice function. And I ask ChatGPT, hey ChatGPT, could you tell me what the word noble means, as I'm trying to explain this to my 7-year daughter? And it's not the, I'm just using the voice functions, so ChatGPT repeats so my daughter can hear it. And it's amazing. And it explains in such a simple language something that I thought that it's not impossible. And yeah, and I'm amazed about this technology. So my daughter asks, Daddy, can I get ChatGPT on my phone? And yes, I know. She's only 7, but she has my old iPhone, and I have all the parents' control and everything. And she says, and she starts, and I said, like, yeah, you will actually get that functionality on a newest iPhone. This is what I heard from Apple. And she's like smiling, but I'm looking at her, and it's not just smiling, it's just that evil smile. And as I know my daughter very well, I have to tell her truth. Honey, same as Siri, ChatGPT will not tell you parent control password, so you will not get unlimited time. And she goes, ah. And you know, I see that sparkle in eyes in packagers when talking about AI. They think that AI is coming and will control either master packager software or it will do all the work for them. I have had these conversations. And we have, of course, tested it, seeing how we can implement maybe AI in master packager. And it can help with some tasks like PowerShell script, excellent. It's not perfect, but it's doing a lot of lifting for the packagers. VB script is deprecated. Converting VB scripts to PowerShell, excellent. My favorite, I don't know why, but I like this. So I need to find how to disable updates from the application, and I see configuration files like this. Which key and value needs to be set to the package to disable automatic updates? For me, it previously took searching, seeing, reading. It is complicated. Now I'm just, hey, ChatGPT, help me find where to update, disable auto updates from this script. And it actually gave me 2 options. One was correct, second wasn't, and at the end of the day, it suggested the wrong one. But it was used words like likely, so it's good not saying this will be the correct answer. That's good. Be careful with anything else. Like I have heard a packager saying, hey, AI suggested me to use for this exe, this silent switch. Yes, sometimes it can return the answer saying, hey, use very silent switch for this exe, and you will test it, and it works, and nice. And then you find out that there is a desktop shortcut, you want to delete it, and you have to add the script. And if you would check the homepage for that vendor, you would find out that there is actually MSI. You can create MST and delete the shortcut. We have a called Master Packager Framework. It's available on our YouTube channel where we teach such thinking, going through this framework, how to do the application packaging, and we teach that how to find the right ways to not be in situations where you're figuring out with silent switch on exe where in reality there's MSI available. Why? Why is that? I think it's because these AI models need data on how to do high quality application packaging. Where would you send someone to learn application packaging? I don't know. So I ask. Maybe someone else knows. The best and only answer, go to Microsoft and read about MSI. Of course, it's not enough. So it's all about the knowledge. Knowledge to understand how the applications work. How to do the repackaging? Turns out I hear the answers like from the packagers or IT pros who needs to deploy the application saying that no, repackaging bad, black art, never ever. Actually, it could be more safe to deploy repackaged application. As you can see everything that mystical exe doing, you can see all the files, all the changes, and it will definitely work. You will be able to trust more your repackaged application that it will not fail than maybe vendors' own application. Again, it depends from the case. How to configure applications. Some even do not consider that they can go extra step and disable updates or add this user-specific needed configuration for that application. And to find it, again, it could be less than 2 minutes using Process Monitor, finding and then using Master Packager tool to apply per user data under system account. You just need to know a few details, and it's not complicated. And how to make all this process work efficiently so it's not expensive. We have an online workshop, but it's expensive, as we have to be there. So we are working on offline courses where we store all our decade of knowledge in one video materials that will be less expensive, available sometime soon. When I try to find out if the solution I'm using is good, I try to ask questions. Do I trust it? Do I trust that repackaged MSIs will actually work like original media? Do I trust that the software I'm using that is so expensive is really the best option? Do I trust managed installers by the community? Do I trust AI that it will do a better job than me? Do I trust packaged applications without PowerShell AppDeployToolkit that they will not stop our users from doing efficient work? Do I trust that my packaging flow to Intune is efficient enough? And finally, do I trust that my knowledge to package applications that I can trust? So, the more we learn, the better we understand how much we can trust. So, yeah, keep learning, as I will do. Thank you.